Being Bobby being here, I love going to live music, I love going to music festivals, so I'm going to talk to you about my 10 reasons why I'm passionate about live music. In no particular order, reason number one is definitely meeting new people. I've met so many fantastic people over the years at gigs and certainly at festivals. You're going to meet people that you would never have walked into in your normal routines, in your normal way of living. You're going to meet people from all over the country, from different countries, and some people that I've met at festivals, even if I don't see them for a long time, I'll see them at maybe the same festival again next year, or we'll meet up in London, or we'll go to another show together. So just meeting new people, whether you see them again or whether you never see them again, it's really great just getting out there and mixing with loads of different people that you wouldn't usually meet in your ordinary day, in your ordinary walks of life. Reason two is seeing new places, whether that be new venues with an amazing history behind them, maybe a venue you're going to, maybe it's pretty bland, or maybe it's got fantastic architecture, lots of history, maybe it's a really cool new modern venue. But it's not just about the venue, it's also about new places in terms of cities. Recently I went to Nottingham, and what took me to Nottingham was a show, was a live gig, and I've never been there before, and I spent the whole day there. So although it's not technically the live music itself, it can take you to new places, new countries. I've been to a festival in Belgium before. So you never know, if you dedicate to live music and following certain groups, musicians, bands, what have you, you never know where it's going to take you and what experiences can come from just booking that ticket or going to that festival. So seeing new places is definitely a bonus. Connecting with the artist would be number three. This may be harder to do in bigger venues or at big festivals depending on where you're standing, but it's not always necessarily through intimacy. In a small venue, it can be the fact that they're almost on top of you, screaming in your face. Well, it depends what music you're listening to, or singing in your face, or you're making eye contact with them. You're practically on top of each other in a smaller venue. Or it could just be that connection through the music, and not just hearing the music, but feeling the music, feeling the vibrations, understanding where that artist is coming from. It's very much in the present moment. It's happening now. That song that's got so much behind it, it's being delivered to you by, well, maybe, once again, depends on the artist, but a lot of the music I go to see, a credible artist that writes their own songs and has maybe a message behind a song or a story behind a song, or wants to convey a certain meaning. I love it when you get those tingles, your hair stands on end, and you actually think, wow, this person is opening up, is telling us a powerful view, or how they feel, or a time in their life where they were at a certain mental state, and you get that connection and you can feel that connection, or at least I do. Maybe some people like to just go to gigs to shake their bottom, but there you go. So connecting with the artist is reason number three. Reason number four is discovering new talent. Whether you're going to a live gig just on one night in particular at a venue, or you're going to a music festival, usually there are bands on the bill that you've never heard of before. Maybe you never even got the chance to do a little bit of research and hear their music on the internet or what have you before you go down to the gig. I love it when you go and see an artist or a group or a band live. You've never heard of them before and they just blow you away. That is an incredible feeling. You've got no expectations whatsoever. You don't know what's gonna be in front of you, and then all of a sudden you just get taken away and just have this experience that you couldn't even comprehend to begin with, because you didn't even know what was going to happen, and you're never going to quite experience that in the same way again, because you're always going to have some preconception of what you're going to see if it's a band that you know something about. So discovering new talent, they can soon become your favourite band, and you maybe would never have discovered them if you hadn't gone and seen that other band, if you hadn't have gone to that festival and checked that band out, say on the smaller stage that nobody's heard of. So discovering new talent, reason number 4. Reason number 5 is musicians who change your opinion of them. I absolutely love that. It may be for years there's been a band or a group or an artist on the radio that for some reason you don't relate with their recording. It doesn't resonate with you. And then this usually happens once again if it's a high profile support bill or a band on one of the stages at the festival. Maybe you're waiting to see somebody else. You end up seeing a band or a group that, say an artist, whatever, that you haven't really liked in the past. You give them the time of day, and then all of a sudden it's like an infection. It's like a little bit of a bug. You start tapping your foot or you start dancing, you start thinking, actually, this is really good, and before you know it, you're having a great experience, a great time, and you didn't even see it coming. You go home, maybe you buy one of their CDs, you start listening to them more on YouTube or whatever, following them on Instagram. Before you know it, you're a fan, and you think, wow, I didn't even like this group when I first heard them, or I didn't like this group for the last 2 or 3 years, and all of a sudden it's clicked. And it's usually, not always, but usually the live experience that can do that, and that can actually push you towards new things that maybe you never thought you would like previously. So definitely musicians who change your mind, number 5. Reason number 6 is emotional release. Sometimes I've gone to shows, I've had a really bad week, or I feel really down about my life, and that show, that moment, it gets me into that present moment. I'm not worrying or thinking about anything else. It doesn't have to be live music, but it's certainly live music for me if it's a good show. And then you may be in crowd participation, jumping up and down, singing, or just dancing, doing your thing, and that hour or 2 hours is just a complete escape and an emotional release. And as we said in a previous blog or previous vlog, there's a definite catharsis for me when going to see live music. So reason number 6 is that emotional release. Reason number 7 is very similar to connecting with the artist, but I think it's even the next stage on from that. It's an exchange of energy. I love it when you have this big collective, of this small collective of the audience and the artist. The artist physically is giving everything they've got. Even if it doesn't have to be a lively show, it could be an acoustic show or anything, but they're putting everything into that actual performance. So it's not just a connection of the music itself, it's actually the physical presence of being there. And then whether it's through crowd participation or a silence and a complete fixation on what's going on, that exchange of energy between the artist and the audience, and sometimes that can build and build and build through a concert, and at the end it's just, you can feel it in the tips of your fingers. You can feel this relationship growing and growing. So it's very similar to connecting with the artist, but I think it's more the actual kind of physical aspect of it in terms of being there and delivering it, not just what the material is about. So an exchange of energy is my reason number 7. Reason 8, this might not happen at every show, but a lot of the music I listen to usually has a really important message, and whether it's actually the artist stopping the song and doing a little speech, or whether they don't say anything, but through the lyrics you can pick up on the vibe of what the message is. I usually come away from a lot of the live gigs and festivals I've been to, and I really re-evaluate my life, and it gets me thinking about important issues in the world, and I may go away and research those issues and read articles about those issues, try and gain more knowledge on those issues. So it's not even just about music. Someone might be singing about mental health, or they might be singing about their political views, or they might be singing about how to deal with stress or how to deal with a breakup. All these different things. Music is an art form in which you can address many different issues and problems and positive things as well throughout life. And what better way to actually get that message across than face to face, or pretty much face to face, live in the here and now. So that is my next reason. My penultimate reason follows on from reason number 8, and that's that live music inspires me. So not only does it get me thinking about important things in the world, but it actually then, following on from that, can inspire me to make changes. The main reason I'm doing Being Bobby Being vlogs is because, if you watch the first vlog, it's because of a Beartooth show. They're a heavy metal rock band that I went to see, and he did a big speech. I won't go over it too much because there's already a vlog on it, but how you need to release energy, and you need to, so if you get angry or stressed, you mustn't let it build up. You have to release it through some means, whether it's just talking to someone, exercise, music, singing, whatever. And that's why one of the main reasons I'm doing this vlog, because I feel like it's something that will help me become a better person, and it will help me have a healthier state of mind, but more importantly, it will help my friends and my family and people that I don't even know maybe look at things in a slightly different way. And I've already had people contact me and send pictures and send poems. It might not be overwhelming at the moment, but that doesn't matter. Even if this just helps one other person, then fantastic. I feel happy, I feel amazing about that. And that's all come from this speech that the lead singer of Beartooth did. So that is a prime example of how live music can inspire you. My final reason is aimed at festivals in particular, and particularly when you are camping at a festival. A lot of the festivals I have camped at, in fact all of them, it's not an easy experience, especially if it rains. Actually, just being away for a few days in a tent, okay, yeah, you're partying, you're having a good time, that takes its toll anyway. So it kind of shows you in a way that you need to do everything in moderation in your actual life. You certainly don't do that at a festival, but also that it may be rainy, it may be muddy, you're not getting much sleep, or if you are getting sleep, unless you're really a glamper, the quality of sleep is pretty awful. It actually makes you really grateful for what you have in your own life, that you have a shower, that you have a place where you can make fairly good quality food, that you've got clean clothes, you've got all these different things that we all take for granted. And you go to a festival for a few days, and even though you're having an amazing time, it's quite tough, it's physically tough, and you feel very grateful for those things you have in everyday life, and you can't wait to get back to it. So I love that. I always think that going to a festival, it just reminds me how lucky my lifestyle actually is. And I think that's, well, I think a lot of people take that kind of stuff for granted. So whenever I'm getting angry or annoyed with my life, I think back to the end of a festival and how tired and dirty and muddy and sleep deprived I am, and how much I've been in excess of maybe eating bad food, or I do drink, so drinking, and then realizing that although this is great, I can't do those things all the time, and that you need to treat your body well as well. You need to strike a balance, and you need to be grateful for those simple things that you have in life. Just having a roof over your head, having a comfortable bed, and getting fairly good night's sleeps if you can, in a good comfortable surroundings. So I really like festivals for that reason. I always leave feeling grateful for the experience I've had, but also feeling grateful for the life I'm coming back to. I hope you enjoyed my 10 reasons why I feel passionate about live music, about gigs and about festivals. Being Bobby Being is out. I hope you have a great night, guys, all day or whenever you're watching this. Gosh, just have a good time. Do something amazing. Do something fun.